Ever feel like you're right there on the verge of, like, leveling up?
Oh, absolutely. That desire to unlock that next version of ourselves, right?
Exactly. And, that's what we're diving into today. We've got these excerpts, one from a personal journal, the other, well, it's more like a motivational piece, I guess.
But they both seem to be hitting on similar themes, wouldn't you say? Like self-motivation, ambition, that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
100%.
Yeah.
So let's see, maybe unpack some of this, and who knows, maybe it'll spark some ideas for everyone listening too.
Sounds good to me. What I find really interesting is how both of these sources, they talk about the power of the mind, but they do it in kind of different ways.
Oh, how so?
Well, the journal entry, it's very action-oriented. It's like using your mind to come up with a plan, a strategy.
Okay, I could see that.
But then the motivational piece, it's more about visualization, I guess. Almost like your mind is this tool you can use to, like, manifest things.
Almost like it's making me think of that line from the motivational piece.
Hmm.
The one that goes, if you can't use it, your mind who can use it.
Yeah, yeah. It's a bit, I don't know, strangely worded.
A little clunky, yeah.
Yeah,
But the message itself is spot on.
totally.
And what's interesting is that they both seem to be saying thoughts are great, but you got to actually do something.
Right.
Like, it's not enough to just think about self-improvement.
It's like, imagine wanting to run a marathon,
Well,
right?
okay.
You think about it all day long, dream about crossing that finish line, but
Until you put on your shoes.
exactly. Until you lace up those shoes and actually hit the pavement, nothing's going to change.
And that's what I find so interesting about the journal entry, right? It's like this person, they're not messing around. They've got their plan. Wake up early 5 days a week to learn something new. That's action.
Right. 5 days a week. That's commitment.
Serious dedication.
Ah,
But it does make you think, though. I mean, we all hit those bumps in the road.
yeah.
No one just sails through life. And both pieces do touch on that, don't they?
Yeah, for sure. And I really appreciate how they frame those challenges, those inevitable mistakes we all make, not as failures,
Mm.
but as opportunities.
Ooh, I like that. Opportunities.
The journal entry talks about really analyzing those setbacks, figuring out what went wrong.
Interesting.
And then the motivational piece, it's almost like this defiant thing. Like million time, okay, we learn from
So
mistakes.
like they're saying, bring it on.
Right. Like mistakes are just part of the process.
I needed to hear that today.
Yeah.
It is way too easy to let a mistake or 2 or 20 just completely derail you.
Absolutely. Analysis paralysis.
Yes, this is more like, okay, I messed up. I learned from it. Time to move on.
Mhm.
Though to get anywhere, you kind of need to know where you're going, don't you?
Right. You need that destination in mind.
And that's where the whole idea of vision comes in, I think.
Totally. And the journal entry, it talks about this, how crucial it is to have this clear picture in your mind of where you want to be.
It's like having your own personal North Star guiding you.
Perfectly said.
This has given me so much to think about already, but I'm curious, what about all of this really stood out to you?
Honestly, the
I know.
combo of action and resilience, it's one thing to say, hey, you have the power to shape your own life, which we do,
We absolutely do.
but it takes constant effort, right? And the ability to keep going when things get tough, which they will.
Could not agree more.
Mm.
So, for everyone listening, think about your own life for a second. What's one little thing inspired by all of this that you could do today?
Ooh, maybe take a page from that journal we talked about. Identify one area, just one, that you want to work on,
Okay, I like this.
and set a small, achievable goal, even if it's reading an article, trying out a new skill for 15 minutes. Baby steps, right?
Small steps lead to big changes. Love it. Okay, before we wrap up, one last thing to ponder. We've been talking a lot about individual effort, which is obviously super important, but what about other people? Like, what role can they play in our journeys?
Oh, that's interesting.
Do you think it's easier to reach your goals if you share them with someone? Or maybe find a mentor? Or even just surround yourself with people who get it?
Mm.
Something to think about.
Mm.
And with that, my friend, I think that's a wrap on our deep dive into self-improvement.